Hello, and welcome to the Homeschool Well Podcast. This is Jenny here today, and I'm coming at you solo. Kim is not here with me today, it's just me. And we are just doing a quick Mother's Day podcast to honor moms and bring you some encouragement today. And if you are needing some extra help and encouragement in your homeschool, be sure to check us out at thehomeschoolwell.com. We have an online Christian community for moms to help you and encourage you and empower you along the way. We meet weekly. We also offer coaching if you just need a one-time one-on-one session with us to get things in order. And for our podcast listeners, we have 15% off when you check out, and you can just enter the code podcast15 at checkout. So that's at thehomeschoolwell.com. You can check us out there. But today we just wanted to go ahead with our message to you. Today is May 9th, Friday, May 9th, actually, just a few days before Mother's Day. So by the time this airs, it will actually be after Mother's Day. It will be belated. But we decided to go ahead with this podcast anyway because moms need encouragement 365 days out of the year, right? So even though this is going to be late, we hope you had a wonderful Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day. We just hope it was great. We actually wanted to, our plans were to get this podcast out last week so that it would be on time for Mother's Day, but our work lives and personal lives have been crazy and the time just totally slipped away from us. So you know how that goes. But anyway, we did want to offer you some encouragement today as you're walking through this life. And I was out walking this morning, and today, May 9th, is actually my oldest son's 20th birthday. And it's literally hard to believe. And if you have listened to us at all, you know that he is the reason that we left public traditional school and started to homeschool. He did not fit in the box at all. He was bright and very active, quite disruptive. And so we took him out after second grade. And we were just seeing that trying to squeeze him into this box of this traditional school model every day was just getting harder and harder, and it felt like it was going to start squeezing the life out of his little soul. I mean, I felt like his spirit was going to be killed. He was a curious kid. He was just so into learning. He loved learning about everything, and it was just not happening in the current school we were at. And it was a great school too. It just wasn't for him. And over the years, as I was thinking back on his life today while I was walking, I was thinking, wow, we have had some rough times with him. We had some rough parenting times with him and some rough homeschooling times with him. It has not been easy at all. And we also have another son that we were homeschooling and parenting at the time too. But our oldest was definitely the trailblazer and set the course for our homeschooling and parenting and how things developed over time in our home. So here he is, 20 years old today, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, this has been a wild ride with this kid, and I've learned so much, and he has learned so much, and so I just wanted to kind of share it with you today. One of the things I was thinking about is for so many years, like when he was little, I just felt like a total failure with my parenting with him. And I was a public school teacher. I worked at after school care when I was home from college. Like I was a public school teacher. I knew how to work with kids. I knew how to deal with behavior and all of this. But when it came to him, it was just a completely different story. And I felt like I was failing all the time. I felt like I was being judged by people all the time, wherever, like teachers and at our church. And I just felt like I was not doing a good job. And I really cared what others thought. And that was my number one mistake. But I started to realize over time, like kids like him that are strong-willed and very active, they just need a different kind of parenting and schooling than what I was used to. Traditional parenting just doesn't work for these kids. And I even had a preschool teacher say once to me, "Don't you have something you can take away from him at home that he will care about and change his behavior?" And I was like, "No, there isn't anything. Whatever I take away from him, he will just be like, that's fine, whatever." There wasn't anything that he was really, really attached to that I could take away from him that would change his behavior. And really, his behavior needed to be changed at the moment. He needed to be taught at the moment, like, this is not appropriate behavior. Let me teach you what to do instead, you know, instead of punishing and taking things away and sitting in timeout all the time and all of that. Oh, I could go on and on about all of these things that I did, but I'm not going to. I have so many stories about all the things I did wrong. But the things I did right, actually, was I did read tons of books about strong-willed children and kids with, ADHD. And he had never been diagnosed with that, but I was like, "Ooh, this kid, he is a lot." How to deal with gifted kids and intense kids. And I read tons of books. I had special friends who helped me navigate through this time. One of them is Kim, the one, my other half of the Homeschool Well. She was such an encouragement to me all the time because she could just think outside the box and she could think like him more than I could. So books, special friends, different podcasts, focus on the family I would listen to quite a bit. But there was one speaker in particular, her name is Cynthia Tobias, and she had amazing stuff on strong-willed kids. And also Kirk Martin, he does the Celebrate Calm podcast, and he helped me tremendously as well. Also books on self-directed learning, all these things. Like, with help, we finally found a parenting and schooling rhythm with him, but it just took a long time. And what I found was the rhythm with him that worked was just giving him more space to be himself, not me trying to control him all the time. He's not going to be like me. But more space to be himself, space with boundaries, and making sure to prioritize our relationship. And that is really the bottom line. Of course, his relationship with the Lord and all of that, which we did do in our talks all the time and in our homeschool. But really, I needed to enjoy him. I needed to like him and want to be around him. And so I needed to work on prioritizing our relationship. And that is the encouragement I want to give you today, is that you're not just your child's mom, but this is a person, and this is a person that God has made, and he has given you this child for a reason, and you are this child's mom for a reason, and you're learning things and they're learning things, and you will learn so much as a parent and a teacher to this child. So some of the things that I did with my child to make sure I was prioritizing my relationship with him and keeping the big picture in mind was to take an interest in things that he loved, like fishing and snakes and nature. He just loved being outside. And so that was something that I started to do too. And I found that, wow, I really like it too. I love finding out the things that God has made in this world. Other things like making sure I'm joking with him and being sarcastic with him. He's like a very fun-loving, fun kid. Like, people love him. His personality is great. And so I needed to be a person who could be fun too. And so that was something I needed to prioritize. I also realized that I needed to give him control. Like, he is a strong-willed personality and he wants independence. He needs control in a lot of things. And so I had to find things that I could hand over to him and give him control so that he could feel empowered in his life. He did not want to be controlled all the time. I don't know a lot of people who do, but especially strong-willed kids need to have areas in their life that they are in control over. Something else I needed to do to prioritize our relationship was to say yes to him as much as possible. Like, in my mind, I can be a person who my default is to be like, no, I don't want to do that. Or no, you're not doing that. I can be a default no person. And I needed to totally switch that around and be the default yes and say, okay, can I allow this? I need to try to allow as much as possible with this kid so that I can reserve my no's for when they really matter. And that is something that I really had to change in my own head for sure to be able to prioritize a relationship with him. I also just needed to stop nagging him all the time. Like, I'm still like this. He's 20 now. My other son is 16. And sometimes when I spend time with them, if I'm sitting down to a meal with them or we go out to lunch or something, I have to tell myself, I am not going to say one negative thing while we're here. I am not going to nitpick at anything. I'm not going to give one bit of advice. I'm just going to sit here and we're going to have a conversation and we're going to enjoy each other's company. And I have had to set boundaries in my mind and say, for the next 3 hours, I'm not going to find one thing that's wrong with this kid. Or for this second half of the day, it's just going to be conversation. I'm not going to be a nitpicky mom. Because no one wants to feel like they are being nagged all the time, right? I don't like it and they don't like it either. And I really had to stop that in my own behavior. And the other thing that I really had to do as a mom, this is so pathetic, but I had to set a reminder on my watch to smile every day at 3:00, because every day around 3:00, when the day was over, the homeschool day, it was winding down. And the second part of my day would be getting going, which included cleaning up the house, right? Coming down from the morning, from the day, and getting ready to do dinner and do a little cleaning and get some laundry done and all of that. And I would be just out of gas, out of energy. And so I felt like I was scowling every afternoon. I was tired. I probably needed a quick 20-minute nap, but also I just needed to smile. I needed to make my mouth, turn the corners up, and smile at my people and stop scowling all afternoon. And I think having that as a reminder to go off on my watch every day at 3 p.m. really helped me be like, oh, snap out of it, Jenny. Like, get yourself together. Enjoy this time. Enjoy these people. And the last bit of encouragement I will say is just not giving up on your kid. Do not give up on your kid. You think in your head, oh, they're never going to get it. Oh, we're never going to be done with this problem. Oh, this child's never going to outgrow this or learn how to deal with this. And my parenting journey is not over. My kid is 20. He doesn't have everything together, and neither do I. I don't have everything together either. I'm still growing as a person. I'm still learning as well. So I think that we just never want to give up in our minds on our kids. And I know I've shared this tons of times, but I love hearing it every time. And it's Galatians 6:9, which says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. And the other verse that I always loved was Psalm 27, verses 13 and 14. I love these verses as a parent. I will remain confident of this. I will see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart, and wait for the Lord. I love those verses because it was like, okay, God has got this. I need to do my job. I will see a harvest if I don't give up. And I just need to be waiting on the Lord and trusting in his timing that he will do the things that need to happen when they need to happen in his timing. We hope this brings you encouragement today. We hope this strengthens you, even though it's a few days late. Think of it as Mother's Day week, not just Mother's Day weekend. You can keep celebrating into the week, right? We hope it gives you some encouragement in whatever you're dealing with your kids, with your family, with your endurance, with your long days. We know how it is. Motherhood is a long game, and sometimes we just don't see the fruit of our labor for years and years. And it's awesome because finally, he's 20. I'm starting to see some of the fruit of my labor. Little bits here and there, but it's finally starting to surface, and it's so amazing. I'm so thankful. We just want to tell you, don't give up. Wait on the Lord, and in the meantime, keep prioritizing that relationship with your child and keep the big picture in mind. And we are here for you for support, resources, encouragement to help you thrive in your homeschool journey. You can visit us at thehomeschoolwell.com, and I will link all those resources I mentioned in the show notes if you want to check out any of those speakers. Have a great day, homeschool mom. We will see you again soon. Bye.